Alright, what's up? Arthur here, and welcome to a new Black Ops 3 video. In fact, welcome to a new Black Ops 3 Best Class Setup video. And of course, as you can tell by the title, in this one, we're going to take a look at the KN-44 Assault Rifle. And as you can see, I actually unlocked the Diamond Camo for the Assault Rifles. I think I unlocked this one yesterday. Could have been the day before that. I think I was streaming when I unlocked it, probably yesterday. If not, you know what, doesn't matter whatsoever. But basically within the next few weeks, I'm of course going to cover all the Assault Rifles over here on my channel. And then after that, we're going to move on to the SMGs, next up the LMGs, after that the shotguns, the snipers, probably the pistols after that, and then last but not least the launchers, which is probably going to be a pain in the ass. If I say so myself, up until yesterday, I didn't realize that I also had to unlock the Diamond Camo and the launchers in order to get the Dark Matter Camo, which definitely makes getting the Dark Matter Camo a little bit more of a pain in the ass, because back in Black Ops 2, right, I basically had all of the diamond weapons except for the launchers, just because I never used those. I personally think that they're kind of useless. I mean, I guess in this game they're pretty useful because, I mean, it only takes, what, like 5 seconds to take out something like a Wraith? So it shouldn't be too difficult, but that's of course going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Anyway, so the class setup I've got for you all today is a pretty decent one, if I say so myself. I basically tried out a load of different setups. The KN-44 to me is a bit of an average gun. It's basically good at close range, it's good at medium range, it's good at long range, but it doesn't excel at anything, which is definitely a bit of a problem. However, the good part about using the KN-44 is that you never have to use Scavenger, because everyone and their mother use the KN-44. At least like half my opponents usually do. So that's of course a good thing. Anyway, so for starters, we've got the quick draw grip, the grip, and then of course also the stock. First off, the quick draw grip is going to allow you to snap on target just a little bit faster. This basically makes weapons a bit more deadly at close range, because 9 out of 10 times, if you manage to hit your opponent before he hits you, you're going to win that gunfight, unless of course you sway off of target. That happens, and unfortunately sometimes you also die randomly, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but there's nothing you can do about that. Anyway, so next up we've got the Foregrip, which basically reduces recoil. The KN-44 does kick quite a bit, and the grip is simply going to reduce that, making this gun a little bit more easy to handle at medium to long range. And since this thing does deal a considerable amount of damage, it's also pretty viable at mid to long range, so that's definitely pretty useful. And then finally we have the stock, which is actually one of my go-to attachments for assault rifles. Like I said in my M8A7 Best Class Setup video, personally I'm not a very accurate player. My accuracy is still somewhere along the lines of like 25 to 30%, which is not bad, but that is not because I'm a very accurate player, not in any way, shape or form. Basically, I find it a lot easier to stay on target by strafing to the left and the right than it is for me to stay on target by basically aiming properly. That is something that I of course have to work on, but for now the stock will help me out with that. And of course at close range you're a bit more of a harder target to hit just because you're not standing still. That's of course an obvious one. But if you don't want to use the stock, if this is not an attachment that you like, then definitely be sure to try out the long barrel. The long barrel in Black Ops 3 is actually a really good attachment. It literally doubles your range, making it a lot more likely if you only need 3 bullets in order to kill an opponent. So that one is definitely pretty good. Anyway, so next up for perk 1 we have 6th Sense. Now I'm pretty sure that every single one of you by now knows what 6th Sense does. It basically shows a little indicator on the minimap when an enemy is nearby. So when there's someone above you, someone below you, behind you, next to you, you name it, it's actually pretty useful. Normally speaking, when there's someone behind me, I'm pretty much bound to die anyway, just because I play on sensitive before. But apart from that, it's definitely pretty useful. Next up for perk 2 we have Hard White, which is easily my favorite perk in this game. This one is even more useful than 6th Sense. For starters, this perk makes you immune to counter UAVs, power cores, EMP grenades, and smoke greens. It also makes sure you don't trigger trip mines, shock charges, and C4 alarms. And on top of that, it also reduces the effects of Tracker, and it completely annihilates the effects of 6th Sense. So this one is definitely pretty good. And then finally, we once again have Blast Suppressor and also Awareness. Blast Suppressor, for those of you that don't know, basically makes sure that your opponents don't see you on their minimap when you use your thrusters. And it also suppresses your thrusters, making it a little bit harder for them to hear you when you do actually use them. And then finally, we have Awareness, which I would say is a great perk when you have a proper headset. Also, in the previous episode, I asked whether or not this perk was good when you do not have a proper headset. And quite a few of you told me that it is still a pretty viable option. So definitely give that one a go. And apart from that, if you don't like this one, definitely try Dead Silence. Basically makes it harder for your opponents to hear you. So that one's pretty good as well. Then next up, in terms of my square streaks, in this case, I was using the UAV, the Hellstorm, and the Cerberus. I recently prestige again, so I don't really have any proper score streaks that I can use at the moment. But the Cerberus has been my go-to score streak for the past 3 prestige or so. This thing is an absolute beast. Definitely give that one a go. And with that said, if you've got a proper KN-44 class setup, then definitely be sure to share that one in the comments for others to try out. Also, if you enjoyed this video, some support, a like rating would be very much appreciated. If not, that's cool. Let's once again aim for 750 likes, that'd be great. Of course, if you want to stay up to date with what I do on a daily basis, then be sure to follow me on Twitter at BO3. And then as always, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for the continued support. And I will catch you in the next one. Take it easy.